The contemplative this morning is from Roger Teal's book, This Life is Joy, and I just noticed it's green. That's good. Uh, I'll read the selection on surrender, and then we'll have a 1 minute thought time, meditation time on what was read, and then Jackson will take us into the beginning of the service. There is a form of surrendering that is masterful, and when fully understood, it is what this life is all about. Consider these expressions of purposeful surrendering. Rather than giving up, it is flowing with and opening into. It is attuning to the wisdom and possibilities that are being obstructed by resistance and forcing. It is to clear a space for intuition and higher guidance to be realized and followed. It is higher level allowing something better to emerge.
How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul.
With joy and expectation, I recognize the existence of spirit within us, around us, through us, and as us. And this morning, as we come together to share our individual spiritual journeys and make them one. I know that each of us has something to offer and has something to receive. And I know that magically this service always gives and responds to anything that needs to be done. We thank the speakers, the musicians, and we thank Zoom today for getting to see all the little boxes of people. I know that the best is yet to come this morning, and the best does come without difficulty and without strife. And so it is.
How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul.
Thank you very much, Donna and Claudia. Jackson and Claudia. I happened to look to the side and see the little pictures and made an error. So we're moving into our talk portion this morning. Our talk is release and let go. And you know, I had to laugh because every time I see the title, I want to go, I release and I let go, etc., etc. Which I know that if we were meeting together, we would be singing this song. The monthly title for March is Open to Possibilities. And so last week we talked about living in the question. And this week, in this idea of releasing and letting go, or living, being open to possibilities, we realize that there are things that we have to let go of in order to move forward. You know, I just remembered 1 year back in the Hawaii church, April Fool's was on a Sunday. So I told everybody, dress up, you know, let's do backwards day or something. I can't remember exactly what it was, but we all dressed up funny, and I did a talk about releasing and letting go, and about how the baggage that we carry around through life. And I had this pillowcase that I had stuffed with all kinds of things, like the sheet from my, the first time I ever made love with my husband, and, you know, and you know, all kinds of weird stuff, funny stuff. And it was so much fun. But we sort of do walk around like that, don't we? We have a mental bag of trash that needs to be let go of. And, you know, part of the idea of releasing is surrendering. But first of all, let me read you this. This comes from our What We Believe by Ernest Holmes, of course. We believe the ultimate goal of life is to be a complete emancipation from all discord of every nature, and that this goal is sure to be attained by all. A complete emancipation from all discord of every nature. I think about that and I think, wow, you know, this past year has certainly not been emancipated from discord, though I think that Mother Nature thinks it is. Has anybody noticed that the gardens seem to be growing better? There's more birds around. There's the animal life, you know, the natural state of being seems to have flourished while we've been sent to our rooms. I know that cities with a really bad pollution problem, the air has been cleaning itself up because there's not so many cars on the road. And I so hope that we, as a race, you know, or as a collective of people, allow ourselves to notice that and pay attention and not just go, you know, hog wild once we get out of this whole COVID-19 thing. So Dr. Michael Beckwith says that 100% of spiritual growth is letting go. Releasing and letting go of ideas, beliefs, and attachments that no longer serve us to create openness and spaciousness in our consciousness. It removes obstacles and impediments in the way of living our lives. And this idea for me is that idea of the fact that we have been carrying all this baggage, mental and emotional baggage with us, and that it's time to let it go. It's really, really, really time to let it go. The beliefs, the ideas, the attachments that no longer serve us. And he says that creates a sense of openness and spaciousness in our consciousness. You know, as I've been getting older and I start to, I laugh at myself because I start to forget things, you know, like I get up from the computer to go in and get something, and then I do other things, and I come back and I sit down. It's like, oh darn, I forgot such and such, and I get up and I go and I do it again, and I laugh because I had this mental image of my brain being full of 72 years of information and emotions and experiences, and that, some of it needs to go so I can make more room for more. I like this. Eugene Holden said in a Science Mind magazine, fear keeps us hanging on to what doesn't work in our lives. It also keeps us from surrendering to our good. Surrender has two sides. We surrender all that does not serve us. Then we surrender to our highest good. And this is one of the reasons why we want to release and let go, so that we do make that spaciousness in our consciousness, so that we can surrender to our highest good. I know that for instance, when we have a twice nice sale and so many of us decide, oh, well, I'm going to go through my house and I'm going to start cleaning things up so that I can start out fresh, or not have so many things around me, then inevitably, by the time the next twice nice comes around, we've replaced all of that stuff with something else. We're constantly attracting to us stuff. We'll never not attract to us stuff. But I know that when we let go of the emotional, the mental and the emotional stuff that doesn't work, and we surrender to our highest good, then life gets even more powerful than it's been before. So can we successfully release and let go of beliefs, ideas, and limitations without embracing their replacement? And if so, how? So this is the question today. And here is St. Patrick. I love this. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know. Be still. Be. This is how we really surrender to our highest good. We get to that place where we can be still and know that Spirit is absolutely all there is. There's nothing but that. And then we get to the place where for me, this first one is the universe saying, be still and know that I am. And so it's outside of us. The second one is where we're still and we are allowing ourselves to realize that it's inside of us. The third one is where we're realizing that we are one. And the fourth one is just being it. Absolutely being it. Oops, I don't want to do that one yet. Sorry. Okay, I want to share with you something. Well, maybe I will go to that one. This is the song that I said I wanted to sing every time I see release and let go. And if we read this chorus together, I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am here in the Spirit. Yes, I am only here for God. This little chorus has so much power in it. To be able to let the Spirit run our lives is, I think, a concept that we've heard over and over, but there's always that part of us that wants to control everything. When I've thought about this past few weeks, where I have been talking about realizing that there's not God and I, there's God as I. There's not God and you, there's God as you. When I've been talking about remembering that all there is God, I've been thinking about this, the fact that I have let Spirit run my life for a really long time. And I have gotten to do some amazing things because I'm open to doing that, to letting myself be here for God. The God in me, the God in other people, God. And so I have something that I want to read to you that is like a meditation, sort of based on these two verses. So allow yourself to take a breath. Close your eyes if you're comfortable. And this is written in the first person, so it makes it easier for you to embody. So take another breath and just allow yourself to go deep within. I am here to be the highest expression of the divine that I can be in any given moment. I am here to embody unconditional love, behold all through the eyes of love, and express that love for all creation, including myself. I commit to keeping my heart and mind focused on divine love, and to focus with all my heart and mind and spirit, and to love others as I would want to be loved. I let go of the struggle and strife that comes from believing that I have to do it, whatever it is. I choose to release the idea of a self separate and apart from the divine, for this belief was the beginning of all suffering. I breathe deeply into my spiritual heart, which I consciously open to allow the flow of divine love. I am a channel for this love, as I welcome the awareness that all people and all creation are the living light of the divine. I ignite the light of faith, which is my power to perceive the activity of the divine in and through all circumstances. Faith is also my power to behold, with conviction and joyous anticipation, the fulfillment of my deepest desire, which is to know myself as I am known in the one great mind that knows itself as me. I surrender to the indwelling spirit in all things. I realize that the spirit of life and love, in whose image I am made, is the intelligence, presence, and power that sourced all creation, holds it all in perfect harmony and order, and responds to my every thought and feeling with precision. I surrender to a power greater than I can imagine. I claim the power of the divine working in, through, and as me to do its perfect work here in the world. So in this conscious awareness of looking at or allowing ourselves to live as this indwelling spirit, we can easily let go, release and let go, and let the spirit run our life. As we continually move into that place where we know and we know that we know that spirit is absolutely all there is, There is no more struggle or strife. Or if there is, it's small. It's something easy to deal with. And if something comes about that doesn't seem easy to deal with, we can still just breathe into it and allow Spirit to do its work in, through, and as us. So the meditation that I read to you just now, to me, is a commitment to embody the truth that Spirit is so in love with us that it became us, to embody the truth that love is why we're here. Love is ours to share with everybody in our life. And so I'm going to ask you this week to look at all of your activities and look at them through the eyes of love and ask yourself, how am I loving myself and the world by doing this? It comes to me that those 6 people that were out there yesterday cleaning up the highways were loving Eureka, we're loving Mother Nature, we're loving ourselves by cleaning up any of the messes. Perhaps when you're cooking a meal for your family, you're loving your family and imbuing that food with love. And that reminds me that when I was at the Parliament for World Religions in Barcelona quite a few years ago, the Sikhs put on a lunch every day for probably 5,000 people. And the Sikhs do this cooking, feeding people during environmental disasters, during conferences, I mean, so many times. And I talked to one of the women who was working there, and she said that they got up really early in the morning and went to the kitchen. Everything was done, there's no cans open. Everything is cooked and prepared from scratch. And the whole time they're doing it, they're singing. They're singing prayers to the Spirit. They're singing prayers knowing that all the people that they're feeding that day are blessed. And what if we lived our lives that way, knowing that everything we do is to bless not only ourselves but everyone in our experience? We would be honoring this, the chorus of this song. I have this urge to sing it, so I'm going to do it. I'm going to be brave. So sing it with me. I know that you're all muted, but sing it with me. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am here in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. And that's the truth. So let's say this affirmation that Claudia wrote for us for today. I hereby release the attachments that no longer serve my own personal spiritual path. I choose courage over comfort and welcome connection over self-protection. This fuels the quest for my highest truth, and so it is. And what I know for all of us is that we are finding it easier and easier to release the baggage from the past. And as we do so, we're finding a sense of lightness of being that flows through us, makes more room for us to remember the truth of our being. And that truth is God. And so we release and we let go and we surrender to the highest good that God has for us. And this is a really good thing. And so it is. So now we get to have